Oh, yeah.
I'm picking up a whole bunch of audio somewhere. I got a camera somewhere. I gotta get it.
Simon right here. Sand suit. Shining fucking purple. Yeah, you get that excuse set, right? Sand suit. You get that fucking set. Excuse set.
Oh, okay, you know, man. I can search something that like an 80 toilet with the flare out fan something.
Where am I picking up some audio?
There it is. It's on Facebook. Let me test it.
I'm picking up audio.
It was. It cut now.
Huh?
I did hear somebody talking. I know, but he got a mute. Oh, he got a mute.
I hear everything y'all saying. What you talking about?
I did. Something got a it's like in a test. It's it's somewhere over here. Yeah. Could it be from here? Never got like that, yeah. Could it be from one of the computers? Are we streaming for that?
What's that? Oh, you got all on radio.
I'm saying the other two mics on stage, y'all know that them.
I don't even hear.
What stream?
I don't hear the music.
I hear us talking. You can hear the music. You can hear the music, then you can hear us talking. Okay, there it is.
What?
Music. But it's still hearing us. Yeah.
You should hear my voice. You gotta hurry. I gotta get here.
No, I'm done.
Like it's talking. Okay.
I was trying to stay up.
Did that kill it?
Say something. Everybody here?
There's a lag.
Did that kill it?
It's a delay, so I'm waiting on it.
Where's that audio coming from?
That ain't killing. No, I heard him say that they ain't killing. Is it that? Since you're trying to play the music through that?
The microphone wouldn't be that's a microphone.
What is this right here?
What's this?
Yeah. That one.
All right, music should have came back, but you still got audio. What's up?
Train it to something else. Let me see. Let's go with device mount and see what we
That's from the computer.
That's the first thing I can think of.
You just want to disable the speaker, right?
I just disable the microphone.
Yeah, the microphone in the sound setting. Well, I mean that does it too, but
That's the first thing I thought of. Still picking it up. You said it.
go to the sound icon.
Sound icon.
Well, yeah, you're in that.
If at 8:50, like 8, we can just kill the music and we'll start directly at 9 o'clock.
That's the sound though. I need that. There we go. Better. So it should be. It's pulling. You guys, you play it through here now.
Lost audio to that. Let's see this one right here.
That's
That one is 12 feet my audio through.
that shouldn't pick up anything. Well, you're playing music from here?
Yeah, through here.
Okay, for here. So that's why that's moving.
Oh, this is the one that's actually got my sound.
Okay.
I mean, where it's coming through? It's coming through.
The music is coming through here? So why is that triggering?
Because we're playing audio out of here.
Okay, so yeah, okay. This is where it's coming to.
Well, they hear everything we're saying is coming out of here.
Okay, oh my bad. So how do we cut the?
Gotta make it.
See, they cut
Video.
That's right.
See that right there is what's supposed to be for the whole system. If that's coming through, it's gonna pick up everything. That one's disabled.
I think I've seen both. I've seen both.
Go back. Go back. Or is it just
Just drawn to how I feel to never hold you.
1, 2. Good morning, parents, grandparents, siblings, extended family members, and the entire Montgomery Public Schools community. And welcome to the commencement exercises specifically designed to celebrate our scholars, the class of 2021 summer graduates of the Montgomery Public School System. Before we begin, please take a moment to make sure that your cell phones are off or in a silent mode, such as vibrate or do not disturb. As previously mentioned, please be sure to stay seated as much as possible so others will be able to view the ceremony and photograph the events they are witnessing this sunny Friday morning. Commencements are a memorable and dignified occasion. With this in mind, the behavior of our guests should reflect such. We are here today to honor our graduates and the hard work they have put forth in order to walk across this stage. We believe that our students are students today, but they will be tomorrow's leaders. With that in mind, as the members of the summer class of 2021 enter today's venue, they will enter as today's students and leave this venue not only as graduates, but tomorrow's leaders. And now, as the familiar sounds of pomp and circumstance begin, we ask that you stand in recognition and honor of the Montgomery Public Schools Summer Class of 2021 graduate candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the marching on and the presentation of the colors presented by the Montgomery Public Schools Joint JRTC Color Guard, commanded by the National Flag Bearer Cadet First Sergeant Johnny Moore, Carver High School, the State Flag Bearer Cadet Major Mia Boyd, Carver High School, the Right Rifle Bearer Cadet Second Lieutenant Brennan Brothers, Lee High School, and the Left Rifle Bearer Cadet Sergeant Gabriel Starworth, Jefferson Davis High School. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Mrs. Aisha Mosley.
Oh, say, can he by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, while the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. You may be seated. On behalf of the George Washington Carver High School, Jefferson Davis High School, Sidney Lanier High School, Robert E. Lee High School, McIntyre Comprehensive Academy, Brubaker Technology Magnet High School, Park Crossing High School, and Booker T. Washington High School, the faculty, staff, and student body of these illustrious educational institutions, and our superintendent, we would like to welcome you to the summer Class of 2021 graduation ceremony. In science, we learn that a nucleus is the central part of an object, movement, or group, forming the basis for its activity and growth. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are elated to have in our presence the nucleus of the Montgomery Public School System, Superintendent Dr. Ann Roy Moore. Joining Dr. Moore are the central office cabinet and executive employees and the members of the school board. We will follow today's program as printed. We will have the invocation by Pastor Jamil Brown, selection by Ms. Aisha Mosley, greetings and introductions by Dr. Moore, and the challenge to the graduates by Colonel Aries Mincer.
Good morning, everyone. So as a pastor, I feel like my responsibility today is to pray, of course, but I also was told that I have a little bit of liberty to ask a couple of questions and give a few words of encouragement. So if you don't mind, I'd like to do that. And this is going to require a little bit of participation from our students, family, and guests and friends. You're welcome to join us. But before I pray over this incredible and very hopeful and promising celebratory situation with the graduation here, I want to ask a question. If I had a bag full of $10,000, how many of you all in the audience would want me to give you that bag? Raise your hand. Nobody wants the 10 grand. Great. I actually do have a bag in my car. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, though. What if I took that bag and I beat it up a little bit, but it still had the $10,000 in it? How many of you all would still want that bag? Let me see your hands. Okay? All right? A couple of you all just don't want 10 grand. I guess that's not enough, huh? What if the bag, you just saw me pull it out the dumpster around back, but you knew it still had $10,000 in it? How many of you all would still take that bag? Okay, good. Some of you are trying to figure out, where is he going with this? Well, I think you know. No matter what happens to that bag, as long as it's still got 10 grand in it, those of you who raised your hand, you'll take it, won't you? And so what I want you to think about, especially our graduates today, I realize you might have gone through some things in this school year that have been difficult. You've taken some hits. There have been some failures. There's been some things that didn't work out the way you thought they would. But there's still $10,000 in that bag. I believe in each of you, every student here under the sound of my voice, there is value, there is talent, there's a gift. And so no matter how many hits or failures or disappointments you've experienced, I absolutely believe you need to remember that you have tremendous value. And so no matter what happens to that bag, you still want the money, right? So whatever happened to you over the past year or all your journey all the way up to this point in your life, don't forget that you have value. Well, that being said, let me pray, because that's what I'm really here for today. If you don't mind, please bow your heads. God, our Heavenly Father, I ask you to protect each and every one of these graduates, our children, as they take this next step in their journey of life. Protect their coming and their going. Cover them from behind and guard them from evil. Let no weapon formed against them succeed in its attempt to destroy anything about them. Be their shield and their defender from every evil attack. Help each of them to always be aware of your presence, especially when they're tempted to do things that are not right. Guard their steps from evil. Give them diligence and the strength to say no to what is evil and wrong, and yes to what is good and right. Give them physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Protect them from every illness, every sickness, every disease that would attack their body, minds, and spirits. Help them to find the full confidence in who you made them to be, and for them to walk out your purpose in their life despite any challenges they have already experienced. Help them to walk in honesty and integrity. Help them to be more concerned about their character than their reputation. Open their hearts and spirits to your plans for them, and give them hope, wisdom, and direction to grow strong in every area that you have gifted them in. Thank you for making your favor and blessing and peace to remain on them from this day forward. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Good morning. As a music teacher, I need you all a little help this morning. I don't have my keyboard, but if you can keep the beat just like this, if you can help me, I'm ready to sing. So I'm going to do it so that you can help me too, okay? Stand out front. You've got dreams and you've got goals. There's a vision burning down in your soul. Hold on. There's nothing that you can't do. You gotta be driven, motivated to stir up the gifts that God has placed in you. Hold on. The future's looking bright for you, no matter how hard it seems. Don't give up, always believe. Hold on. Hold on to your dreams in the midst of adversity. Don't give up, always believe. Hold on. Hold on to your dreams. Determination is the key in this cold world. If you want to succeed, hold on. There's nothing that you can't do. Don't be discouraged by the trials you face, 'cause your beautiful mind would be a terrible thing to waste. Hold on, hold on. The future's looking bright for you, no matter how hard it seems. Don't give up, always believe. Hold on. Hold on to your dreams in the midst of adversity. Don't give up, always believe. Hold on. Hold on to your dreams.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me, and welcome. Excuse me. We'd like to thank you all for being here this morning. And before I introduce our honorable speaker, I would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our graduating seniors this morning. And from a personal perspective, I'd like to say, in looking at you with all of your different colors of the regalia representing your individual schools, you look so beautiful and so handsome. And I want to thank you for putting forth the effort to be here today. As superintendent of Montgomery Public Schools, I'm proud of you. This past year was not easy, but you persevered, and now it's time for you to start your new chapter. I want to remind you to continue to push forward and work hard. I'll say that again, work hard. Everyone, please join me in giving our students a round of applause. Thank you. And now it's my distinct honor to introduce our guest speaker, Colonel Aries Mentzer, who is the commander of the 42nd Air Base Wing at Maxwell Air Force Base. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Colonel Mentzer attended one of our middle schools at one point in her life. And so she is a product in some ways of MPS. Colonel Mentzer leads all base operating infrastructure and services support for 42,000 active duty, reserve, civilian, and contract personnel, students and families at Maxwell and Gunter Annex. As Maxwell's installation commander, she partners with local officials across the river region, and I will share with you that she is a tremendous supporter of MPS. Colonel Mentzer commissioned in 1997, graduating with academic distinction from the University of Nebraska. She has held several positions within the Air Force, a few being an Air Force intern for the Deputy Secretary of Defense, a Major Command Legislative Liaison, and a Squadron Commander in Southwest Asia. We are extremely grateful to have Colonel Mentzer here with us today. Graduates, parents, MPS staff, and guests, please join me in a round of applause as we welcome Colonel Mentzer. Thank you so much.
Well, good morning, everyone. Okay, y'all didn't hear me. Good morning, everybody. That's a little bit better. One more time. Good morning, everybody. This is a moment of celebration, so we got to get started right now. We're going to try it one more time because my energy is off of your energy. So, good morning, everybody. There we go. There we go. All right. So, Montgomery County Board of Education members, especially President Claire Wheel, our faculty, our students, our family, our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, neighbors, friends, and especially our 2021 graduates. Good morning and congratulations to all of you. I am Colonel Aries Mentzer, and I am humbled and honored to be here with you to celebrate this historic moment in your academic career. With all of our Montgomery Public School graduates, which I understand comprise of 6 different schools. What schools do we have out there this morning? Do I hear any school pride? What schools do we have out there this morning? So I came out of Montgomery Public School System. What's the best school out there? I'm sorry, which one's the best? Because if your school's the best, I think you would be off your feet making some noise and hollering out your school. Which school's the best? All right. We got 6 great schools here that I'm honored to be here with and celebrate with you. Congratulations, graduates. Dr. Moore, I want to thank you for the generous invitation to be here with you today. Working with you and the amazing local leaders here in the Montgomery City has just been an honor. If you don't know, over the last year, I've had the pleasure of working with Ms. Claire Wheel and Dr. Moore, along with a lot of our local civic leaders and people that are invested in raising the level of education here in Montgomery Public Schools, not just for military-connected children, but for all children. We've made incredible strides. I know the city recently invested quite a bit in the education system here in Montgomery. And I want to thank all the River Region leaders for their passion and commitment to high-quality public education. That work enables the freedom to serve for many men and women in uniform. Because we know our children have access to great education, the airmen, those are the Air Force people at Maxwell Air Force Base, and the Guardians, those are the Space Force people at Maxwell Air Force Base, are able to rise to their best and focus on serving our nation because we know our kids can get a great public education here in Montgomery. So I want to thank you for that. As Nelson Mandela once said, Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. The investments Montgomery is making in the public education system is creating conditions for students to rise to their best, to get the best public education, and become those men and women who will indeed change the world. Those men and women are you. With global pandemics, a strategic power competition with Russia and China, climate change, and so many other areas where our nation needs our best and brightest, where our nation needs you, high public quality education is essential. So Dr. Moore, to you, the Board of Education, the faculty, the educators, the administrators, the local leaders, the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, the neighbors, everyone who has dedicated their time and talent to ensuring the best public quality education here in Montgomery, I just want to say thank you. Please give all of them a round of applause. Come on, make some noise. I also want to thank Dr. Bridget Johnson, Ms. Jade Jones, and Ms. Aliki Brooks. Those are the three extraordinary women who made this ceremony today a peak moment for each and every one of you graduates. So please give them a round of applause. To the graduates, you know, last night I asked my son, who is closer to your age than I am, what I should say today, what I should say to you to make this a truly peak moment. And he said, Mom, whatever you say, keep it short. Do you agree? And I realize that I am all that stands between receiving your diploma and those graduation parties that probably will occur right after this, so I'll do my best to keep it short. But I can't tell you how honored I am to be here to share this moment with you. And you would not be here without the community that made your education career possible. That is your teachers, that is your parents, that is your siblings, that is your community. So graduates, if you can do me a favor, can you all please rise for a minute, stand up, and can you please turn around, face the back, and look to that sea of community out there. Yeah, make some noise. Now, before you turn around, everybody back there is chanting and cheering for you like they have been for your entire academic career. So graduates, turn around, and I need you to make some noise for those people over there, all of that sea of community out there who have made your success possible. So show them your appreciation, graduates. Make some noise for those people here celebrating you. There you go. All right, grab your seats, grab your seats. So, who am I and why am I standing here? Well, first of all, I'm a graduate of the Montgomery Public School System. Part of my academic career was here in Montgomery. I didn't start here, I didn't finish here, but the experience I had here shaped the woman, the officer, the mother, the wife that I am today. Today I serve as the commander of Maxwell Air Force Base. Has anybody here been to Maxwell Air Force Base? No? Nobody. Well, I invite you all to come and check it out. So what do you do as the commander of Maxwell Air Force Base? So I have the pleasure of leading over 42,000 men and women who make that base a success every single day. I have the pleasure and the responsibility. We do everything at Maxwell Air Force Base, from the police who secure the base, to the civil engineers who manage all of the construction on the installation, to the lawyers and the logisticians, the contracting officers and the child care workers, the accountants and the air traffic controllers that keep our airways and our runways safe, to the cyber experts who prevent us from threats and who manage all the networks that we work on, to the chefs who provide the meals that fuel us so we can rise to our best every single day, to the fitness instructors and the forklift drivers. Pretty much everything that's needed to run that base is my responsibility. And it's an awesome responsibility. But I will tell you, any job you can imagine off of Maxwell Air Force Base, you can probably do on Maxwell Air Force Base. And for the parents out there, I'm not here to recruit your kids, but I just want you to know that as you think about your plans for the future, pretty much any career path you can imagine outside the gate, you can do inside the gate. And if you're interested, I invite each and every one of you to come fly, fight, and win with me as part of our United States Air Force or United States Space Force. So as the base commander, I have the very cool opportunity to cultivate the conditions for folks to rise to their best, whether they live on Maxwell, whether they work on Maxwell, or whether they rely on Maxwell. Like, for example, we've got the largest pharmacy in the state of Alabama. We take care of medical prescriptions for people all across this great state. There are so many opportunities to serve this great community. To get to be a base commander was a 23-year journey for me. A journey that began when the Air Force gave me a full-ride academic scholarship to attend the University of Nebraska. If you're from Nebraska, most people say that the N in Nebraska stands for knowledge, which is why I asked for a little bit of grace as I worked through my speech today. I earned my bachelor's degree at University of Nebraska, and then the Air Force continued my journey by sending me to the George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And for a year, my job in the Air Force, meaning the Air Force paid me a salary, was to be a student and to get a master's degree. And oh, by the way, the Air Force paid for that too. I have not paid for a single dime of my education. Bachelor's degree, 2 master's degrees. The Air Force also paid for my husband's education, as they offer spouse tuition assistance. And when my son, who this year will enter the 6th grade, when he goes to college, the Air Force will pay for his academic career as well. I share that with you to say that if education is your aspiration beyond high school, there is a pathway for you in your United States Air Force, and I'm welcome to share more with you about that. This 23-year journey has taken me around the world. I've been to Turkey, to Spain, Germany, Poland, the Netherlands, Tunisia, Egypt. I've served in the Middle East, Japan, Italy, North and South Korea, Iceland, and even Texas. I've met presidents and foreign dignitaries, celebrities and athletes. I've got to be a part of some of the greatest missions and presidential balls. I've even got to serve in the global war on terrorism, and now I have the privilege of serving right here in your community as the commander of a military base. An opportunity that less than 120 folks get to do across our great Air Force. Serving right here in the birthplace of our nation's civil rights movement, in a city that changed the world. I can't think of a better place to serve as a base commander, and I'm so honored. And while I have many career accolades and awards that I've achieved along this 23-year career, it's not the medals on my chest or the merits in my performance record that have made my career magical. What's made it magical is the opportunity to be a part of something that makes a difference. One of the most magical moments of my career happened right here on 1 December 2020, just this past December. And if you would allow me, I'd like to share a little bit about that with you. What happened on 1 December 2020 is that at Maxwell Air Force Base, we unveiled a sculpture of Miss Rosa Parks. Does anybody know who Miss Rosa Parks is? Anybody? Show of hands. All right, absolutely. If you don't know, Miss Rosa Parks worked on Maxwell Air Force Base, and so did her husband, Raymond Parks. Miss Rosa Parks was a seamstress who worked on our base hotel. Her husband, Raymond, worked in our barber shop. And it was the experiences they saw on Maxwell Air Force Base. We had an integrated trolley where they could choose to sit wherever they wanted. But when they went outside the gate, they were limited in their options. We had an integrated pool and integrated shopping centers. The life on Maxwell Air Force Base was much different than the life off of Maxwell Air Force Base when Miss Rosa Parks worked there. And if you go and read her autobiography, you will learn that it was the experiences that she had on Maxwell Air Force Base that inspired her to fight for greater freedoms off of Maxwell Air Force Base. And after her service there, she worked here in the city. And on that day, 1 December of 1955, she refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus. And as a result of that action, she changed our nation for the better. All from her experiences at Maxwell Air Force Base. So what happened on 1 December of 2020? We put up a sculpture of Miss Rosa Parks on Maxwell Air Force Base. And I want to share with you how we made that happen. To put up a sculpture on an Air Force base takes thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it takes years. We did it in just 3 months and for less than $10,000. And when I say we, I'd like to introduce you to another Montgomery Public School graduate, Mr. Ian Mangum. Ian, could you please stand up? Ian is the sculptor that designed, sourced, built, and installed that Rosa Parks sculpture. Is there a Miss Alexis Baker in the audience? From Booker T. Washington. Are you out there? Did you make it here today? All right, so I think Alexis was graduating here as part of the ceremony. Like Alexis, Ian graduated from Booker T. Washington. He had a chance to be a part of the visual arts program and hone his skills as an artist and a sculptor. After Booker T. Washington, Ian then went on to be part of the University of Alabama, where he got his degree in sculpture and in architecture. He now serves today at Maxwell Air Force Base as a logistician. He is responsible for taking care of all the logistics for some of our special events and all of those morale, welfare, and recreation events that keep airmen at Maxwell Air Force Base resilient. When I arrived at Maxwell last fall, and I drove around the base, and I had known the story of Rosa Parks' service on Maxwell Air Force Base, I knew that there was an opportunity to put up a sculpture to commemorate her service, not just on Maxwell and not just on Montgomery, but on behalf of our nation. And I challenged my team. I said, we have just a few months before the 65th anniversary, 1 December 2020, of Rosa Parks' historic act. We can't miss this moment. What can we do? And this young man, Ian Mangum, walked into my office with a design of a sculpture of Miss Rosa Parks. It was built on a 3D printer that he himself designed and that he brought to me. And he said, ma'am, I can build this. Let me do this. And I said, go for it. And in less than 3 months, he put up a sculpture made of powder-coated steel that is durable, and it's black powder-coated steel, which has a high contrast against its natural background. And it's individual pieces that come together to make in a V formation to form Miss Rosa Parks' face. And it was important to Ian to show Miss Rosa Parks' face because as he went around the city and talked about Miss Rosa Parks, he quickly learned, and around the base, not a lot of people knew what she looked like. And it was important that we preserved her story and her image for future generations. And each of these individual pieces that form this V formation to look like Miss Rosa Parks, they each look like individual weapons. Because as Ian will tell you, he saw her as a foot soldier, a weapon for change, someone who could make our nation better. So graduates, I share this story with you today, not just to share a success on Maxwell Air Force Base or the incredible accomplishment of Mr. Ian Mangum, but I share the story with you for this reason. Miss Rosa Parks was a seamstress. She was somebody who society told her opportunities were limited, that she was less than the opportunities that were available to the people standing next to her. But she didn't accept that. She didn't allow the policies or the norms or the views of others to limit her. Rather, she saw better on Maxwell Air Force Base, and she took what she saw and allowed that to inspire her to fight for better off of Maxwell Air Force Base. And as a result, Miss Rosa Parks changed not just Montgomery, but she changed our world. If a seamstress with a little money, a little power, and a little position, but against great barriers and resistance, can change our nation for the better, what can you do? What can I do? I told you I'm a base commander. I have a lot of responsibility and a lot of latitude to make decisions and make change. And if Miss Rosa Parks can make change, I certainly can. And putting that sculpture up on Maxwell Air Force Base was important because we need every airman and every guardian and every civilian airman like Ian to walk past that sculpture and know that change is possible, to be inspired by Miss Rosa Parks, to change our nation for the better. How are you going to change our nation? Now, Ian's sculpture has received high praise from the media. When we unveiled that sculpture on 1 December with the mayor and Mr. Brian Stevenson from the Equal Justice Initiative and city leaders and officials and the highest ranking member of our United States Air Force who came to be the keynote, it has been the most viewed and celebrated event on our Maxwell Air Force Base media. Generals have given him high praise, and so many more. In fact, his sculpture is so amazing that he has been commissioned, and when I say commissioned, that means a paid job, to build a second sculpture right here in Montgomery to commemorate Miss Rosa Parks, which will unveil on 1 December of 2021 here in the city. And I invite you to come join for that unveiling and that celebration. So this base commander, a Montgomery Public School product of education, a product of Montgomery Public School education, and this airman, Ian, also a product of the Montgomery Public School education, put up this sculpture in less than 3 months. I think that's not too bad for 2 kids from the Montgomery Public School system. What do you think? So, as I close out my remarks today, I want you to think about I'm almost done. So I want you to think about change. And I want you to think about how hard it's been with the changes this last year. Achieving academic success through a global pandemic is no easy feat, but you did it, and you should be proud of that accomplishment. I want you to remember a quote that inspires me by President Obama. Change does not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we seek. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So graduates, today, ask yourself, how are you going to change the world? Despite the challenges, you've arrived here today and you are on your way. But don't let today be the peak accomplishment for yourself. There is more in store for you. You are the ones we've been waiting for. When the going gets tough, and even as the commander of a military base, there are some very hard days. But I remember Miss Rosa Parks. And if she can change the world for the better, so can you, so can I. Be the change. The world is yours. Now go inspire the next generation, like Miss Rosa Parks, and leave this city and our nation even better for those that follow. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Can we give Colonel Mincer one more round of applause? Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom with us on today. Malcolm X once said, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." As preparation for tomorrow, marshals, please prepare the candidates for commencement. Again, we encourage you to stand quietly as each graduate's name is read as a show of support so that each student's name can be heard. Row 1, please stand. Counselors, please proceed to the stage. It is with undeniable joy and abundance of anticipation and distinct honor, principals, that I present to you the summer class of 2021 candidates for graduation with all of the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. George Washington Carver High School, Alasia Adair. Zakylin Brown. Omarion Catchings. Princess DeVille. Vittorio Fan. Kendarius Green. Quintoria Hales. Tamara Hale. Jalen Harris. Devin Jackson. LaCora Jenkins. Kiela Jones. Luanisha Jones. Jamie Lowry Jr. Kiriana Love. Michaela Martin. Javon May. Donnie Moore. And Brianna Osborne. Kadesha Purnell. Mikhail Phillips. Aubrey Powell. Cameron Sweeney. Janiyah Thorne. Cannon Williams. James Wilson. Jefferson Davis High School. Demison Abner. Carlton Alexander. Ariana Anderson. Martez Anderson. Jeremy Anthony. Jemiah Beeman. Tamarian Bowling. Robert Borden. Samiria Coley. Jasmine Collin. Jamal Copeland. Limondre Cox. Jalen Daniels. Diamond Dollarson. Jimmy Ellington. Jarrell Floyd. Jakai Foster. Anna Gomez. Antoinette Green. Amari Green. Jalen Gunn. Joseph Hall. Kayla Jackson. Rena Jimenez. Elizabeth Knox. Enrique Lara. Elijah Lewis. Devondre McCall. Kiera McCoy. Jaden McGee. Desiree McTeer. Zion Moreland. Charkiria Nelson. Jadarius Patterson. Elijah Pickett. Genesis Pickett. Ahmad Powell. Cordasia Quinn. Nia Raby. Nicholas Reyes. David Rivas. Tanasia Roberson. Quinaya Robinson. McCall Sellers. Destiny Siawe. Qualis Simmons. Jada Sims. Jalen Smith. Keandra Smith. Carisian Smith. Zachary Stein. Alicia Stokes. Alexia Taylor. Renardo Thomas. Tashiriel Tillman. Stephanie Torres. Derek Vinson. Ariana Vu. Amari Williams. Sydney Lanier High School. Tenario Abner. Akari Arrington. Entrail Baldwin. Tayshawn Briggs. Dwight Cobb. Jayshawn Craig. Jadamian Gavon. Caitlin Guilford. Tamir Hardaway. Heaven Johnson. Kevin Jones. Shakayla Lewis. Simone Millender. Mackinya Moore. Jimmy Randall. Deshaun Robinson. Samuel Robinson. Graduates, please be reminded that inappropriate behavior across the stage will result in your diploma being withheld. Jatylin Shuford. Armando Smith. Corey Taylor. Tyzel Thomas. Keldrick Trimble. Brianna Washington. LaShonda Williams. Kavaris Wilson. Dorothy Wins. Anaya Wright. Robert E. Lee High School. And Adelia Ariaga. Elizabeth Barnes. Luis Barrera. Salvia Barrera. Tamaya Blevins. Demario Capleton. Jordan Chillis. Erica Garrett. Naquasia Giles. Salvador Gomez. Raheem Hensley. Keyshawn Hendricks. Jovion Howard. Rodriguez Irby. Cortez McDade. Startasia Powell. Ashanti Rhodes. Sean Anthony Rivers. Cedric Rogers. Damian Ross. Ariana Smith. Richmond Thomas. Anthony Tucker. Ronteria Tucker. Magali Velasquez. Daryl Williams. Cindy Zamudio. McIntyre Comprehensive Academy. Seth Arnett. Sharday Bailey. Donnell Coleman. Annalisa Jackson. Dontavius Jenkins. Martasia Van Hughes. Park Crossing High School. Kalia Barnes. Kalia Cooper. Janaya Davis. Gerardo Dominguez. Rico Gibson. Nikaya Henderson. Davian Heel. Christina Jeong. Preston Kaiser. Jaden Rogers.
I will take it off.
Chris Scott. Kadesha Simmons. Devon Wilson. Jessica Wyatt. Booker T. Washington Magnet High School. Alexis Baker. Summer class of 2021 graduates, please stand. The gesture of moving the tassel from one side of the cap to the other symbolizes the individual's movement from candidate to graduate. So on the count of 3, candidates, move your tassel from right to left. 1, 2, 3. From George Washington Carver High School, Jefferson Davis High School, McIntyre Comprehensive Academy, Booker T. Washington Magnet High School, Sidney Lanier High School, Robert E. Lee High School, and Park Crossing High School, I present to you the Montgomery Public Schools summer graduates of 2021. As the familiar sounds of pomp and circumstance return, graduates, please prepare for recessional.